From the BBC World Service, in association with ABC and All India Radio, this is Stumped.
Hello and welcome to Stumped, your intercontinental hit of news, features and debate from the quirky world of cricket. I'm Alison Mitchell in London, fresh off a friend's birthday party last night, and I am very fresh, I want to say, except for the fact that my muscles are aching, nothing to do with the dancing, but I went horse riding this week for the first time in about 6 months. And here's just a little side lesson in confidence for you, because I started the lesson just saying to the instructor, let's just stay on the flat, I haven't been for a while, just keep things gentle. So off we go, and she said, well, your muscle memory's still there, like you're looking good. Shall I put some poles out for you? Yep, a couple of poles on the ground, trotting over those, fine. Canter over those, get the speed up. Then she just says, shall I whack them up? Put a few jumps up. Okay, I thought, she says I can do it, I'll do it. So flying around the arena, suddenly popping over jumps. It was just a little lesson in, if someone you think just needs a little bit of confidence, give them that nudge. And often if you tell someone they can do it, then they can and they will go ahead and do it.
It's Jim Maxwell in Sydney. I'm looking forward to you riding the horse with the guitar. And perhaps you'll get out here a bit earlier next summer. We've just had the Melbourne Cup, of course, which has probably been overshadowed by T20 cricket. And one of the wonderful things about watching this T20 is that it shows the sort of multi-racial ethnic base of Australia, because wherever Bangladesh, India, Pakistan travel around Australia, they bring a crowd with them. And the atmosphere at all these games has been just fantastic. And let's hope that continues through to the finals.
I'm Sunil Gupta for All India Radio, but I'm not in New Delhi. I'm in Vancouver, where it's now 2:30 in the morning. But I couldn't miss this chance of being on Stumped and obviously what's going to follow. But I went up to a place called Whistler, where they had the Winter Olympics about 20-odd years ago. And I saw the ski runs, no snow on them yet. Luckily, therefore, I couldn't sort of get my confidence into my hands and go down those ski runs. And I believe they're called bunny and red and blue and black, apparently. Black is really the sort of, the 100-meter boom going straight down. But I will one day, now that you're doing your riding and jumping, I will do that. But let me tell you something about Vancouver in Canada. It's absolutely beautiful. And, as you said, Jim, large expat population. Everybody's following the World Cup. You can even actually find it in the restaurants when it's on and TVs are on. People are watching. And that's what I'm doing as well. Because even though it's 1 o'clock in the morning when most games are on, you sit down and watch because you do not want to miss the World T20 cricket.
Yep, Canada has a T20 league as well, no doubt. It's on my bucket list, I tell you, Sunil. It's absolutely on my bucket list because I've never been to Canada. Really want to go, and it'd be beautiful this time of year as well, the autumn colours. Well, first up on Stumped, we are joined by one of the greatest fast bowlers the game has ever seen. He was captain of the Pakistan national team, was known globally for his fast and fierce left-arm bowling. He holds the world record for the most number of List A wickets, and he is also now a world-renowned commentator who I've been lucky enough to work with as well. We are, of course, talking about Pakistan cricketing legend Wasim Akram. Wasim, a very warm welcome to Stumped. It's great to see you again as well.
Thank you very much.
We're so pleased to have you. You've got a book out and it's called Sultan, a memoir. Tell us broadly about it. Is it your straight autobiography?
It is straight autobiography. I waited for 20 years. It was difficult at times to revisit some incidents, some tragedies. And when human beings try to forget stuff, it's difficult to revisit all those incidents. But I suppose the reason I wrote that book was because of my kids. I have 2 boys from my late wife. Taimur is 25. My younger one, Akbar, is 21. And my little one is 8 years old from Sharira. People have said lots of things from last 20 years, 20 odd years, and I just kept quiet because it was just, at the time, I didn't want to take that stress. I was going through a lot myself, mentally and physically, and especially being diagnosed as a diabetic at the age of 29. So, that messed things up as well mentally. So, and finally, my wife, Sharira, she got in touch with Gideon, who's one of the best cricket writers, I believe, in the world. Gideon was incredible. It was an incredible journey, actually. The things I forgot, he remembered. Everything was there. all the subjects I spoke about, my personal battle with drugs and how I came out of it. The reason I think that became a big news worldwide. The only reason I came out with this stuff, like I came out with diabetes 24 years ago. I remember in our culture, in England, in Australia, and Western culture, people are very straightforward. But in our culture, we try to hide things. You see, so when I was diabetic, I said, look, I want to tell the world I'm a diabetic. I can motivate some diabetics all over the world, to just to motivate people. And people have said, no, don't do it. This will happen. This will happen. And same with this personal battle I had with drugs. People again said, don't do this, don't do this. But my idea was, I spoke to my kids, I spoke to my wife. They all knew what it was. It was 15 years ago. And if I can come over that hardship, that battle, anybody can. And if I can motivate one person, I think my job is done. That's what I think. And, it's one of those situations. I'm still a bit not worried, wary that how will Pakistanis will take that book. But I suppose now it's out, so I got to just go with it.
The things, Wasim, which will, have made the headlines, as you said, has been in particular about the cocaine addiction. So how hard was it to delve into that period of your life and just recap a little bit for those listening as to, the depth you have gone into about that?
I started off, like any 35-year-old, 36-year-old will try after the retirement, didn't know what was happening, got into the wrong company. And then eventually, after a couple of year and a half, you start off only on the weekends, and then the weekends go into once a week, one during the week, and then eventually it gets to a stage where you can't function without it. You can't go out without it. You can't go to a party or to a social, at any social event without it. So year and a half was very, very tough. My late wife, Huma, she found out. I mean, obviously, when you are under the influence of addiction, you hurt people psychologically, mentally, a lot more than obviously physically. And I probably hurt her a lot, and I still feel sorry for her. The first step is to admit you have a problem, and then the process starts. And that's what exactly I did. I said, to my late wife, I'll go to the rehab. And rehab for me was like I see in the Western world or in the movies. When you think about rehab, you think about a nice open garden, a gym session, maybe a fresh juice, early morning, wake up, good walk, lectures. I didn't know anything about it. So I said, take me. My wife was desperate. She took me to a place in Lahore. It was 8 rooms with 1 corridor. And that was it. And then we used to get medicine in the morning and 1 lecture every day. But one guy helped me there, who was a psychologist. But otherwise, it was very tough. The food was average. We could only get out once in a week with 3-4 people around us. They used to give us some tablets. We used to just sit all day at one place. So I went with my own will. But they kept me for 2 months there, 2.5 months there instead of a month. And that actually did help. That actually, I rebelled when I came out. I told my late wife, it's your fault. I went in for a month and you put me there for 2.5 months and not realizing what I was going through, my diabetes or what medicine I was on. I mean, she was desperate. But I think the switch happened when the tragedy occurred. And then I was left with 2 kids, 7 and 11. I still think about it. I feel like, And since then, I never looked back, but it was tough times.
Another significant part of the book which you address is the allegations of match fixing, which surfaced during your career. And that scandal plays quite a big part in the book. Just tell us what you say about that and how you look back on that time in your life.
My request to all the journalists, Sunil, James, Alison, all you guys, whoever listening to this broadcast, that I can understand you guys are very experienced. You guys have made your mind long time ago about my reputation. Just go through the report again. See, most of the time, this is the first time I also read the report because I wanted that chapter to shut down in my mind. because I moved on in life. But like I said, my kids were grown up and the whole world praises me like, one of the top fast bowlers the world have ever seen, etc., etc. And this generation, the young generation of Pakistan, that's about 65% from 18 till 35 out of 220 million people. That's a lot. They say that Wasim is a match fixer. That hurts. Without any proof, without nothing concrete. Even in the Qayyum report, I've been told he's not guilty, but he's guilty. So, it's nothing black or white. And my request to all of you, just read the report again, and you will understand where I'm coming from. And the reputation got ruined. People still think the 96 World Cup of a quarterfinal, when I got injured 3 days before, played against New Zealand, pulled my intercostal muscle, that takes 6 weeks. So the reason we didn't tell the press at the time, 2 days before the game, we didn't want the opposition to know that their captain is injured. India scored 270 plus or something. Pakistan were chasing. They were 120 for none in 15 overs. And then we did win the game. And they blamed me. Somebody said, oh, he didn't play it purposely at the last minute. So it's ifs and buts. It's my word against your word. How can one guy, a captain of Pakistan team, and that too in the final of a World Cup? Oh, you won the toss and batted. Nobody complained with the whole World Cup, if you see Alison, Sunil and James. All 99 World Cup, our strength was bowling. So wherever we won the toss, most of the time we batted and we won. World Cup, it didn't happen. So that was the reason that I wanted to clear up with this generation. And obviously, judge me, listen, what's happening. It was just impossible to even accept that people are thinking that.
Wasim, it's Jim Maxwell for the ABC here in Sydney. One of the great rivalries has been seen again here in the T20 World Cup when India played Pakistan in that extraordinary game at the MCG. How can we get to see more of India and Pakistan home and away, Wasim?
I'm glad you enjoyed that particular scene at the MCG. 100,000 people watching, billion plus eyes on the television, and Pakistan team became villains straight after the game. So that's the beauty of Indo-Pak cricket. And you probably will tell me a lot more because you were there, that Melbourne must be buzzing a week before that game. The Indians are traveling to Melbourne. The Pakistanis are traveling to Melbourne from Pakistan, India, and from their own cities. So cricket, sport is sport. Let sport be a sport. And politics aside. Or sort your politics out on the side. I mean, this is the beauty of Indo-Pak cricket. I mean, I played cricket against Sachin. The first test I played against him was 89. And then the second test I played against him was 99. 10 years, no test cricket. So that's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, Wasim, this is Sunil Gupta. Good meeting you again. I read a bit of your memoir, and you talked about the 99 series in India. It was a memorable series.
Was
not just about getting 5 wickets in Kolkata and so forth, but playing in India, representing Pakistan. Do you remember that Chennai test, which you won by 12 runs, where Sachin scored that century, and Shai, the freebie as an opener, scored 141, and that was the big difference. You were the captain at that point of time, and you had that victory lap, and everybody stood up in Chepauk and gave you a standing ovation. How does it feel, knowing the Indo-Pak rivalry, knowing the history, knowing all those things? How did you feel at that moment?
Sunil, that was one of the highlights of my cricketing career. It was one of the best tours I've been on. We got looked after. We had the presidential security. Whenever we traveled out, we had the roads on either side blocked. The city like Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, the busiest cities in the world, and the love we got. And their standing ovation was not just to Pakistan. I think it was the game of cricket. The way it was played, the manner it was played. 40,000 people watching every day, 45,000. And that too, in Chennai heat, was unbelievable. And what a test match it was. One of the best one I think I have participated. I played 100 plus, but that was one of the best test matches.
Yeah, I couldn't see the end of it, I must tell you, because I knew which way it was going. When Pakistan gets that close, Pakistan normally wins.
Yeah, imagine what I was going through as a skipper. 20 runs to win, 4 wickets in hand. The great Sachin is on 130 not out. And it was a matter of one boundary. And every fielder was on the boundary. Every fielder. And I was an extra cover. Just giving away one to Sachin. And he hit that shot, and I was the only fielder under.
Yeah.
And it was about right there. It was a huge hit, and there were 50,000 people screaming. And I said, Waz, just balance yourself, eyes on the ball. That's all I told myself. And I took the catch.
That leads me to the next question. I mean, this, we talk about Indo-Pak rivalry. We talk about all these things. What actually happens on the field? I know there were times when it was tense. Remember Javed Mirdad jumping up and down in the 99 World Cup. Kiran More was sort of, talking a lot behind the stump. What actually happens on the field? I mean, tell us a little bit. You revealed so much in your autobiography. Tell us actually, what actually happens on the field between you guys.
Sunil, on the field, we are very aggressive. Indians and Pakistani. I used to have a go at very good friend of mine, Ravi Shastri. Every time he came out to bat, I just bombed him. That's the word I used. And he asked me after we retired and we worked together, I said, what the heck was wrong with you? I said, but what else you want me to do? Pitch you up? That's everything. But off the field, we were very good friends.
Well, Waz, it's been it is a riveting read, and so pleased that you came on Stumped to share more of it with us and to add to what is in the book already. So good luck going forwards as well, and look forward to next time we see you and hear you in the commentary box as well. Thanks for being with us on Stumped.
Thank you, Alison. Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Ravi.
That is cricketing legend Wasim Akram. Now, that's all we've got time for on this week's Stumped. So I'll say thanks to Jim Maxwell and to Sunil Gupta, and of course to all of you for listening. Make sure you join us again next week. Bye for now.
From the BBC World Service, in association with ABC and All India Radio, this is Stumped.